Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I know it's been a minute, but in the studio today, we have the Z Flip 4 again, here for a 6 months later update. Now, you're not gonna wanna go anywhere because we have a giveaway that I'm gonna be announcing at the end of this video, so you're gonna wanna stick around. It's like this holiday, you know, kind of giving back sort of thing, so just, you know, calm down. Now, as usual, as these reviews go, I'm going to be talking about the Z Flip 4 from my experience. Things that have changed, things that have gone awry over the past 6 months, things that I've liked, things that I've disliked. And again, we're going to focus on my experience. This is unscripted and will probably be uninformative, but we'll find out. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the crease. So this crease has seen a minor change that gets in the way of daily usage. Unlike the Z Flip original, the Z Flip 1, which had like a really squiggly and squishy screen, and then the Z Flip 3 came around, fixed that. The screen on this is for some reason rainbow. All right, let me explain. When I'm looking at white, so here, let me just pull up. Now, you might have to look really close, but right where the crease meets, there's this rainbowing that's going on. I don't know if the camera is going to be able to pick it up, because it's such a small effect. Now, the interesting part about these rainbow lines is the fact that they only go all the way up to the end of the screen protector, and you don't see it on the glass behind the screen protector, which tells me that the screen protector is getting air in between it. It's getting wrinkled, there's air bubbles coming in, and that means that it could eventually start peeling off. 6 months in, again, this has been a daily driver, all kinds of different weather conditions, normal everyday usage, and there is rainbowing in the crease. So what does this mean for usage? Well, there's a little bit of discoloration, but you only see it on the back of a white background, and it's my eyes that see it. I don't even know if the camera is even going to be able to pick that up. It's that delicate, but it's something that, you know, when you think about the crease, you think, oh, I'm gonna notice that every time I look at the phone, and you kind of do end up getting over the crease. But now there's just this new thing, this rainbow effect on the white background that you're just gonna have to start getting over. It's a little annoying. It's not hampering any of my real usage. It's just not something I want to see 6 months in. And interestingly enough, the Z Flip 3, I did not see any of that happening. The Z Flip 3 screen was flawless for the entire year I owned that device. So that was the crease. No other damage as far as the screen is concerned, as far as the screen protector is concerned, as far as the display goes. The display has been flawless, it's been beautiful, no dead pixels, nothing of that kind to report. The most major damage on the display is the fact that the screen protector is starting to get some wrinkles that are causing a rainbow effect at the crease. That's it. As far as the display goes, has been fine. Now let's talk about the actual build, and I've got this case linked below. It's a 2-part case. It does not protect the hinge when the device is closed, so the hinge is revealed. But I mean, I've been pretty careful. This phone has been with me in -0 degree weather recently in Toronto. I've been back here in Philly quite a bit. It's been pretty cold, rainy here. It was with me throughout the school semester, so I've had this on me for quite a while. I've been charging it using all kinds of different, the wireless charger and the USB-C super fast charger, and I'll get to the battery in just a bit. But as far as the build quality is concerned, absolutely no damage anywhere on the body of this device. It's remained pretty solid throughout its entire life, 6 months, so it's not, you know, a whole lot. I haven't dropped it at any point, and there's been like, well, no. Yeah, there were two major drops that I had with this device. It was in my pocket. The pockets were tiny. It fell out and it fell on hardwood floor. So it happened actually in the room right next to this. So it did drop, no damage on the actual body, but for a week. And this is something that I really didn't know if I wanted to include this or not, because it's so sketchy, but it's true. You gotta believe me, all right? You gotta believe this guy. For 1 week, 1 to 1.5 weeks, this phone stopped taking video and recording audio. For some odd reason, whenever I opened up the device and tried to take a video, there would be no video playback, and the audio would just be a loud static noise. There would be no, you know, actual audio from the actual video I was taking or whatever it was. So it was just a black screen, and and it was a whole like static noise. And I sat down to make a video of that entire thing. So it was, you know, midterm week, I believe, and I sat down, like I had the phone and it wasn't working, like there was this issue, so I just put it off to the side. I switched back to my older iPhone and I was like, all right, let me just get through this week and I'm gonna make, by the end of this week, I'll make this video. And I did, and I have that video. Unfortunately, at that point, this phone, when I started making the video, I opened it up, I was sampling this whole thing where it wouldn't work, and it worked. So at this point, you gotta take my word for it. There was a point, 1 to 1.5 weeks, where this thing, I don't know if it was the fall damage or something else, but this video wasn't being recorded and the audio was just super static. Like it was just a static drone. And I didn't do anything to it. I literally put the phone down, switched back. I was focused on studying. Came back to make the video, and for some reason it starts working like nothing happened. That's why I don't know if I wanted to include it or not, because one thing I did do, I went online to find if maybe other people had the same problem where the audio was just a static drone and the video wasn't being recorded, and I didn't find any post on Reddit or anywhere else where people were experiencing the same problem. So I was like really conflicted. I'm like, I don't know if I should talk about this. It's not something that's coming up. So this was definitely a problem with my device, and it seems to have fixed itself. So that is something that happened. That is my experience. It totally got in the way of the way I do things, because even if it was an Instagram story or a Snapchat story, it would still, the camera would still not work, and all the audio feedback was just a static drone. So it wasn't just the camera app, it was any app that uses the camera. Before we get into the next parts about the battery and all the other good stuff, make sure to smash that subscribe button because it really helps grow a small channel like mine. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, hit the dislike if you dislike it, and let me know in the comment section below how I can improve. Let's get into the battery. As far as the battery is concerned, I feel like it's gotten better. I actually feel like the battery's gotten better, and I'm actually going into my battery settings right now. My battery usage has been pretty awesome. It's been getting me throughout the entire day really easily, and it feels like it's getting more and more optimized as I go through. Now, earlier when I started, I remember talking about this 24 hours after I got the device, the battery was atrocious. I wasn't even getting a difference between the Z Flip 3, which had garbage battery, and the Z Flip 4. But over the months, it's become more and more optimized, and I feel like 6 months later, it's the best it's ever been as far as getting juice out of this device. So it easily lasts me an entire day. Right now, my battery is predicted to go for 2 days. My most used app is Instagram, then YouTube, then Google Chrome. So that kind of just tells you what I'm doing on my phone. Not a lot of gaming. Mostly Instagram stories, Instagram videos, text messaging on that. YouTube, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I interact on YouTube on my phone with YouTube Studio and all of that. And Google, I'm doing a lot of Google searches and whatnot. So those are the apps that I'm using the most, but I'm also using quite a few other apps like WhatsApp and DocuSign and Airbnb. So we've got quite a plethora of apps going on. But even besides all of that, the battery usage has been phenomenal. This phone does last me throughout an entire day really well. And this is someone whose backup phone is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yes, hands down, the 13 Pro Max is a better battery. It does last me longer than a day quite easily, 1 or 2 days, but this battery is good enough to where I don't really notice the difference. The other side of the battery is how fast it charges up compared to 6 months ago. And unfortunately, I really don't know. 6 months ago, it was okay. Right now, it doesn't feel like it's gone any slower. It feels like it's the same. So there's no difference in battery drain. If anything, it's gotten better. And as far as charging the battery up, it's still fast. It's still quite fast. When I ordered this device, I also ordered the 25-watt charger. I believe it's the 25-watt charger with the USB-C. I also have a wireless charger, which is what I use the most. I'll link those down below. But this is one advantage that I love of the Galaxy over the iPhone, is that when I'm charging both of them, the iPhone takes way longer than the Z Flip 4. So I definitely like that this charges way faster, and it still lasts me almost the entire day with my Instagram usage and videos and pictures and all of that. And another thing, talking about videos, this is something that I've noticed more recently because I've been taking more videos on my phone. This thing lets you download things, right? You can download videos right off the internet and whatnot. iPhones don't really do that. Also, between the two, between the iPhone and the Z Flip, I love how easy it is to edit videos, to add changes to videos, to add subtitles, to crop images, to write on images. Just make those edits on Android. I know this is not the topic of this whole video. I know it's not supposed to be Android versus iOS, but this is just something that I've been noticing. It's so much fun. It's a lot more intuitive, and it's fun because it's so much easier to do these edits to photos and different kind of media on the Z Flip 4 than it is on the iPhone. It's just something I've picked up. So far we've talked about the crease, we've talked about the display, we've talked about the body of the device, and we've talked about the battery. What else can we talk about? Well, the one thing that should be changing, and that we at least saw change on the Z Flip 3, was the whole thing when it comes to updates. The Z Flip 3, when it came out, Samsung was dealing us updates one after the other because there were so many bugs to fix on the Z Flip 3, but that's not the case on the 4. This phone, at least I've barely seen any updates. I mean, it might just be updating in the background, but there haven't been any major updates, and that's because it doesn't need any major updates. The S22 Ultra had those GOS issues, is that the GOS, where the whole thermal heating, and the Z Flip 3 had similar issues when it was on charge, so the Z Flip 3 would heat up like crazy. We're not getting those heating up issues on this device, at least not as far as my usage is concerned. Remember, we're watching long YouTube videos, we're messaging on WhatsApp, Airbnb, sending, videos, editing some videos and images, that kind of thing. I'm not playing Genshin Impact for an hour. I'm not doing that on this device, and I'm not doing heavy gaming. That being said, yeah, this doesn't heat up like those other devices. And of all of those updates that were released for the Z Flip 3, obviously those carried over to the Z Flip 4. So when it comes to a big topic, which is multitasking, this phone has everything the Z Flip 3 had, and it's getting like 95% of the things that I found and that I loved on the S22 Ultra. All of that is coming into this device. You can enable edge panels. You can enable those shortcuts. You can enable the same sort of gestures, text to print, print to text, all of it. You got all of it on this device, and it's just a way cooler, a way more innovative, and a super solid form factor. And just for the eargasm, let me do this for you guys. This is for you guys, okay? This is really for you guys. It's so satisfying. It is so tight still. Guys, I know this is something you're thinking about, hey, what if the crease gets loose? It's not. Okay, and I am someone who just, I usually use two hands to open, and I have no problem closing it with one hand. I also enabled quite a few features for one-handed use. You can see those in my last video where I talk about the 10 best hidden features on the Z Flip 4, but I'm not the guy doing that with this device. I'm not doing that on the regular. And so I've said I've been caring for it, and I haven't noticed any changes or any sort of flexibility or loosening of the hinge. I know people have mentioned those in the comments below where they're like, oh, the hinge is getting loose and it's being misaligned. That's something that keeps coming up in the comments where they're over these months when they close the device, it's not lining up like it should, and the top part might be in front or the bottom part might be in front. I haven't had any of that issue. This hinge is still incredibly tight. And just kind of going back to the topic of the S22 Ultra and those productivity apps, like I said, all of those have been coming into this device and probably are. There's a few that are, kind of S Pen unique, sure, but there's nothing that your finger can't really do. It won't be as precise, but I mean, with the display as long as this one, and especially if you get rid of the bottom control bar, the navigation bar, you got a lot of real estate to do a lot of cool things. So when I'm doing DocuSign, when I'm doing text messaging, you're getting quite a bit more of your text messaging history than if you were using any other device. From reviewing emails and whatnot, again, I'm able to see the email that I'm replying to, because on other devices, when you reply to an email, it'll cover up the old email, and it's like, what do you do now? You have to save it as draft, go back, then come back to the email you're writing. It's a mess, but this kind of alleviates that problem. All little things you notice and that you really like. Again, it's thin. You can hold it quite easily in one hand. It's not like the S22 Ultra with the curved display and the super wide body. So a lot to love about this device. 6 months later, what do I think? There are changes. There are changes. It's happening. but I'm still in love. I'm still in love. I still love this device. And I mean, come on now. You know, you're sitting at the restaurant. You ordered your lasagna, your pizza, your stromboli, whatever you want, okay? And you pull something like this out, and you know, you leave it there, just, you know, casually looking over your business documents, your $1 million check, just scrolling through, $2 million, whatever, $3 million, okay, that'll pay for the meal. And, you know, my point is, people are gonna notice you. They're gonna be like, yo, this guy's cool. This guy's pretty cool. And that's how I feel about this device. It's still pretty cool. Now, the giveaway. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the holidays. I just hit on Christmas Day, on December 25th of last year, my channel hit 1,000 subs. And this year, we've surpassed 15,000. That is mind-boggling. That's phenomenal. Like, I could never have imagined being in this position with so many of you guys tuning in from all over the world. It's awesome. It truly is a blessing, and you guys are absolutely amazing. So for the giveaway, don't go anywhere. A few months ago, I reviewed these two products, the JBL Xtreme 3 and the Soundcore Motion Boom Plus. Phenomenal speakers. This thing is over $300, okay? And this thing is like $200. So we're talking $500 of value. And all you gotta do to win is smash that subscribe button. Go to Chilled Fossil, my Instagram page. It's literally Chilled Fossil. Make sure you're following me there and comment on my last post. And that's it. The winner will be announced once this video hits 999 likes, and the winner will be announced on Instagram as well. Well, I already reviewed these items, so they're like open. They're not they're not completely new, but they're pretty cool products. Okay, I'm showing you the $300 one because this is the big one. Okay, this is the king of all. Look at that. This is the king of portable Bluetooth headsets, ladies and gentlemen. This right here. Not headsets. Why'd I say headset? Speakers. All right. So as a holiday thing, I want to do more of these, but I'm broke. So, you know, I can only do products that I review. It's got all the accessories and everything inside. So if you want to be entered to win, that's all you got to do. Make sure you're subscribed and go ahead, like this video, follow my Instagram, and that's it. The winner will be announced on the Instagram page. But really, what matters the most is you guys. Thank you so much for being here, for showing the support. I know I've been inconsistent at times. I know in my first few videos when I was reviewing the Bose Flex, instead of saying bass, I kept saying bass. And to this day, people comment on that video. I always find it hilarious, but thanks so much for keeping the community as toxic as possible because it's hilarious and I love it. All right, so take it easy. Peace.